Nigeria's ivory towers are in the eye of the storm, designed to be the ultimate center of knowledge, but unfortunately, they have turned out to become a caricature, with cries of underfunding by both the federal and various state governments becoming the norm. Sadly, strikes have become the most potent response strategy, and sadly too, it is the language the authorities seem to enjoy. In all this back and forth, the students who are supposed to be the focus are left napping. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, the senior staff, and the non-academic staff unions are again on the edge of another round of strike, with the future of our students, the stability of our universities, and the soul of higher education left on the balance. I am Eshomomo Imodu. This is Fireworks. We put them under check. Joining me in this conversation to search for a possible pathway to lasting peace in the universities is the president of ASUU, Professor Christopher Pinoa Goson. Nice to have you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now, ASUU, very important in university, just like you have the Senior Staff Union of Universities, you have the Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities. But these three unions, or should I say two unions, have consistently been on strike. Between 1999 and now, we've had about 15, 17 different strikes by your association, ASUU. How do you feel about this?
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for having me on this program. How do I feel, or how do we as ASUU members feel about the frequency of strikes on our campuses? We feel very bad. It's one of the lowest points of our career, of our work, when we have to stop work, because of disagreements with government. For many reasons. Most of us came into the university because we thought that was the central, the key, tool, driver of growth, of development in any country. And we wanted to contribute to it. Some of us came into the university because we're interested in research. So when you put all of these things together and what strike does to it, you will see that most academic staff are not happy when there is a strike. That is in terms of what we feel we should be doing. Then when you look at the challenges that students face, the trauma that they experience, parents, when there is a strike action, you know that there is no lecturer in any university that would put that as a primary target to embark on a strike action. So yes, there have been several strikes, but I can assure you that going on strike is one of the most horrifying experiences for us as lecturers.
Mr. President, you say it's a horrifying.
It is.
But from records, it's like ASUU will always eat its cake and have it, in the sense that you will call for strike and they will say, no work, no pay. ASUU will go on strike, there is that standing rule, and after, ASUU will force the government to sign that nobody will be victimized. The pay must be. So you've gone on strike, you ate your cake, you're still having it. Meanwhile, you come back and you rush students to have exams. So students have always suffered. But here you are saying that you don't even like the way students suffer. When you conduct the exam, you rush the students. Meanwhile, they've not had adequate lecturing in the universities. So it's like, it does not add up to the ordinary man.
Nigeria is not a normal society.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so abnormal things happen. You believe that strikes are the worst things that happen, but they still happen.
So why do normal people use abnormal strategy to achieve results?
It depends on what you consider as abnormal strategy.
You said strike is abnormal.
Oh, hold on. Strikes are tools that are on the table anywhere in this world. Anywhere you go. Strike is a veritable tool. It is an accepted tool of, getting attention, resolving conflicts with government. There's always that tool of strike on the table anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world, strike is an option. However, in Nigeria, when you say we want to eat our cake and still have it, Pengerson will go on strike. It stops you from whatever you're supposed to do. NEPA shuts off the light. You can't do whatever you want to do. Aviation, go on strike.
Does that make it right?
No, hold on. I'm trying to talk about eating a cake and having it. Aviation will shut the airspace. Nobody can travel. Whatever appointment you have is gone. Doctors, we go on strike. If anybody loses his life as a result of the strike, that strike can never...
So, does it justify strike?
No, I'm taking you somewhere. So, when lecturers go on strike, when we embark on a strike, and once the strike is called off, there isn't an iota of our curriculum that we don't go back to cover. I don't understand eating our cake and still having it, because anytime,
no work, no pay. Is the eating of the cake and having it. No work, no pay.
Anytime we go on strike, we come back, we complete the work we're supposed to do. Once you complete the work you're supposed to do, you deserve your pay.
Now, do you respect laws?
Yes, we do.
The law says no work, no pay. Have you appealed that?
That is not the understanding of that law. The law says...
You
go
back to the court to interpret. You don't interpret the law by yourself.
The law says no work, no pay.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Okay.
But it is not an absolute thing. It's not an absolute...
You go to the courts. You cannot interpret.
The same court have told us that the issue of no work, no pay is negotiable. The government can decide to pay, and this government has paid us 4 months already. We still have 3.5 months that they haven't paid, and we are pursuing them. We're insisting that we've done the work, and because we've done the work, we deserve to be paid. There's nothing about eating cake and having it. We've done our work, we deserve the pay. Every laborer, every worker deserves his wage.
And also every Nigerian citizen, every student deserves the required time to be in the classroom, and not an adjusted timetable whereby he is rushed. But they don't enjoy that.
Interestingly, NUC has what they call minimum standards, benchmarks. So there's a minimum number of weeks that you must, keep to every semester, every session. For every semester, it's about 15 weeks minimum. Okay?
So you're justifying strike?
Yes, I am, because it is a tool. It's a legal tool. It's a legal tool to be used. So there's nothing wrong in using strike. The point is that the only tool you employ? No. Is that the only thing ASUU does? No. We have been talking with government since 2017.
And they have been responding?
Since 2017. Yeah. This is the 8th year we've been talking with government. Nobody is talking about how government is dragging its feet, wasting our time, wasting Nigerians' time, creating problems everywhere. Nobody's talking about that.
About it because I've always said that. I've always said that the government officials who had the warning strike and did not take action, and there was strike, should be sanctioned.
Nobody sanctions them in this
country.
So
ASUU should also join in calling for the sanction of those government officials. So would that help?
I'm trying to think about what you just said. ASUU should join in asking for the sanction of officials of government that allow things to get to that point.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, that has always been our case. We believe that there are people in government that benefit from strike. Once there is a strike, there is some benefit, financial, whatever, political. There is a benefit to certain people once there is a strike.
I don't understand.
Of course there is.
How? There is strike. How would a government official benefit from it?
Government officials benefit from strike. They benefit when there is confusion in the system. There are people that enjoy it. Look at what we are going through now. The last time we met with government, they said we should give them 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And that they were going to meet with us.
Have they met?
Tomorrow is 3 weeks.
Okay.
Tomorrow Thursday.
So how many meetings have you had?
None.
Why?
None. Tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow is the last day. Nobody has even acknowledged that this time is closing. The windows are shutting. That we understand. Nobody
Who is supposed to call for that meeting in government? Who is the person?
It's the renegotiation team of the federal government. They are the ones that should call.
Now, in 3 weeks, there has not been any meeting?
Not a word from them. Not a word from them. How do we sanction them? Tell me. How do we sanction them? These are appointees of government. The government knows, the government that is supposed to sanction them is probably the one delaying them. When Tahir Mamman was minister, Professor Tahir Mamman was the minister for education. They all called us here to Abuja they said roadmap, education roadmap. You know where the document is now? Does this minister know that there's any document like that? Have they ever consulted all the efforts, all the money they've spent to produce that document?
You want to help us? What are those some of those major things in this roadmap?
They were talking about what they needed to do, one, to address out-of-school children. They were talking about governance in universities, tertiary institutions. They were talking about the best way of funding education. That was basically what they wanted us to do. But of course, we came to make our input. But we also met there representatives of UNESCO, representatives of the World Bank, and all sorts. That is where they take their tutorial. That is where they take their directive. Those are the groups that advise them. They don't listen to us in Nigeria.
But those groups they're also stakeholders. So you can't have a roadmap without bringing in stakeholders.
Who is the stakeholder in Nigerian education? World Bank? World Bank that has told them that tertiary education is a waste of time, that they should pay attention to basic education, primary and secondary school, and vocational education. Meanwhile, they are improving their tertiary institutions and universities abroad. Look, forget about those people. We are the stakeholders in this country. We are the ones that understand what our problems are. We have solutions to our problems. We have suggested to them, but they will not listen. Why? Because they get some money from World Bank, IMF, all these neoliberal institutes abroad, and some of them have worked for them. They have come to continue the work.
But Mr. President, we should also know that Nigeria does not exist in isolation. You exist in a community of nations. So you can't throw some of this international
America exists in a committee of nations. Yes. Do they call Africa, do they call Nigeria to come and tell them how to run their education? The United Kingdom exists as an institution. Do they call our Minister of Education or NUC to go and tell them how to run their education? So we are the only ones that exist in that global village, global world.
And you think these global bodies are part of our problem?
They are part of, it's not just the global bodies. We have those who are their paid agents in government, people who are propagating the ideals of these institutions in government.
And probably so paid agents in ASUU?
No.
Don't your members also get grants from global bodies to do research?
They do.
So
they do. Hold on. They do because we have asked our government, we've told our government that this country has enough resources to fund research. And we have told our government that we have the capacity to give them results from our research that will inform policy decisions. We have told the government that we are ready We are willing, we have the capacity to carry out research, but they are not responding.
So you turn to the global sponsors who will give you terms and conditions.
They do, and that is not right. That is not right.
So ASUU is also part of it.
No, wait.
Members of ASUU.
I don't like it.
Maybe members of ASUU.
Why are you bringing ASUU into this matter? Why?
Because we talk about the whole stakeholders.
No. You don't say because I'm Catholic and I'm doing something right or wrong. You say this member of this Catholic church is doing this, is doing that. You don't talk like that.
Okay, shall I rephrase it this way?
Let me hear how you want to rephrase it.
Would you want me to say
let me hear you.
That governments, global bodies are the problem of education in Nigeria?
They are part of them.
ASUU is not a problem, it's a solution. You want me to say that?
Yes, I want you to say that because
you think Nigerians will believe you?
Let them listen. I'm not asking Nigerians to believe me without listening to me.
Just hold your thoughts. We'll come back to it. Let's quickly go on a quick break, and when we come back, the president of ASUU will be here, and we're going to dig deeper into these issues. You're welcome back, and this is Fireworks. Now, we left off talking about the problems, the stakeholders, the global bodies, the government, and also maybe not ASUU, maybe lecturers, maybe not the association, maybe individual, maybe the lecturers. And I asked that who is not part of the problem and who is not part of the solution to our education challenge in Nigeria?
You know, ASUU is not beyond reproach. ASUU is not a body that knows everything. ASUU is not a body that has the solution to everything.
I like that.
We understand that. But when you want to pass judgment or analyze or criticize the role of ASUU, we want you to take what exactly we have done, what we have refused to do, or what we are doing wrong, and cite those examples. ASUU as a body does not encourage all these international organizations, neoliberal institutions to come in and interfere and give us handouts. Okay. Our members could. It's within their right to disobey, to disagree with a position of ASUU. It's like this election that we participate. Lecturers participate in elections across the country. ASUU does not. In 2011, maybe I'm digressing a bit. In 2011, when Professor Jega was the chairman of INEC, I stand to be corrected, but I believe that the election conducted by Jega remains the freest, the best elections, and has had the least litigations. ASUU members participated in that election, you know. After that, we looked at our role in the elections and made suggestions to INEC and said, look, if you want us to continue to participate in these elections, based on our experience in 2011, you have to do this, do that. It will improve the credibility. They didn't accept our recommendation.
What is the position of ASUU in participating in elections?
We still do not participate in elections as ASUU. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. Our members can. So as ASUU, we don't subscribe to World Bank and all these neoliberal institutions, Bretton Woods institutions, giving us advice, giving us handouts on how to run our educational sector. We don't subscribe to it. We have a position on it, and we've made our positions clear.
At what point does the body draw the line to sanction members that go against its own position? For instance, if they say in the National Assembly there is a position taken, and they take a position, an individual member is not pleased with it, you cannot now go and be working against that position. It is binding. Though you were not part of it, but it's binding on you. Is it difficult for us to translate it into this and say, look, this is a position of your body, the body you belong to. And the last time we checked, you have not resigned. So the position is bad. Is it possible?
The example you gave may not be quite appropriate.
Okay.
And let me tell you why.
Okay.
The National Assembly, as an institution, has the power to sanction its members.
You don't have power.
We don't have. We are a union in the university. If the university, look, what we do is that this lecturer was caught sleeping with a student. This lecturer is extorting students. This lecturer comes to the lecture room drunk, you know, and all those things. We get a complaint in ASUU. We set a committee. They look at it. They send it to our Ethics and Grievances Committee. We interact with that individual, find out what happened. If he's guilty, we present a report. We do two things. We present a report back to our Congress. If it is at the national level, we present a report to NEC. Once we do that,
you allow a corporate body.
We sanction them the best way we can. Okay. We can suspend you from the union. We can suspend a branch from attending NEC a number of times. We can expel you from the union. We do all of that and then send that, our report, to the university administration, which has the power to sanction either dismissal from the university. So the National Assembly can do what they want to do. We don't have that power. Okay. But within our own capacity, we're able to do
Let's quickly move to this other issue. Now, you said in time past, you were talking with government, and for about 3 weeks, there has been a stalemate. What is the role the National Assembly is playing in all this? They appropriate. Because no matter what you say about funding of education, if the National Assembly do not appropriate, government cannot spend.
Recently, in the last 3 days, I've had some conversations, or contact rather, a call from the office of the Deputy Senate President, who said he was trying to find out what's going on. Some from his office, not him directly, but from his office. I think they are thinking about what's going on. But we have not had any direct communication with them. And like I said at one of your programs here, it's not because we haven't written. We've written to the National Assembly. We've written to the Speaker of the House of Representatives. We've written to the Senate President.
So they're in the know already?
We have written. It's not, the letter we sent to them was not this month or this year, really. I think it was last year, but we've written to them. We wrote to them because the problems haven't really changed, but we have not received any response. But you know the way this country is. People don't respond to those letters, but they respond to strike.
People don't respond to these letters.
They don't.
But they respond to strike.
They do. And then when the strike enters the 3rd or 4th week, they now begin to come round, wanting to have a conversation with you. So, that's their standard response.
Where does this place us in reforming education in Nigeria?
Very badly. Very badly. We're on a
how should we move?
You see,
if tomorrow you are appointed as the Minister of Education, what will be your immediate workable and practical steps?
I've not thought of that. But I know that as president, elected president of ASUU, I know that one of the challenges that we have with government is they have no desire to revert to past records, to follow up on what has been done. So anytime you appoint a minister, he goes in there, he has his own ideas, and he thinks this is the best way to address these problems. But there have been efforts before you. And if you can just build on them, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. In the Ministry of Education, there are reports upon reports upon reports. Sometimes you even set up a committee for a report that is already sitting.
Another committee to look at the committee report.
So they don't look back and see what are the efforts that have been done. That's one. We also know that this government, as previous governments before it, they don't prioritize education. They talk about it by way of speaking, but in their actions, there are so many problems of education in this country. But everything they are talking about is Nelfon. Like Nelfon is like the magic one. Once they had Nelfon, the problems.
Just quickly before we go. Today is October 1. How do you feel Nigeria celebrating its independence and we're still talking about strike or no strike on October 1?
I wish that there will be no strike. And I can't say there will be no strike. October 1 should be a day of reflection, day of taking records, the progress we've made, the challenges we face, how to overcome those challenges. That's what we should spend October 1.
If they permit me in 30 seconds, 2026 budget will soon be in the works. What 2 things do you want to be in it concerning education and solving this challenge?
Number 1, the funding of education, the percentage allocation to education from last year to this year should increase.
Thank you so much, Professor Christopher, for coming on my talk today. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. And that is all the time will permit us to take on this particular edition of Fireworks. Make it another opportunity next week on same platform. But before then, go back to the YouTube channel and check previous recordings of Fireworks. I remain yours sincerely, Shomo. Bye for now.